So, I mean, what we're dealing with now is I believe it's the FBI has now come out and said, we have evidence that there are non-human extraterrestrial vehicles flying around in the air. And a whole bunch of people are like, oh my God, they're admitting the aliens are real. And of course, we just had wild stuff about the FBI drop. But I wanted to talk about the alien stuff because who was it? Tom DeLonge on Joe Rogan a few years ago sat there and told Joe that the Pentagon brought him in like 2002 to talk about aliens, and that they were like, aliens are real. We need to eventually let the population know, and we want you to help us do it through your music. And anybody who listened to Blink-182 back in the early 2000s, they've got songs about aliens. And then Simple Plan has My Alien, and you start to see this alien iconography pop up in the pop punk genre. Like, I just think, I think the idea that we sit here and we laugh now, but for like 20 years now, the military has been just hinting at aliens being real.
Predictive programming. Right?
And I wonder whether it's predictive programming or whether they're using it to cover things up.
If there were any substance to any of this stuff, I really think, or if there is, how about that? We'll say it as if I have not made my mind up, because the point that I'm alluding to is that I would accept evidence, but I need to see evidence. I need to see something that is actually going to make me think, okay, that's real. That it doesn't look like something human, or you have to show me why it wasn't made on Earth. Like, just, hey man, I saw these little green men in a hangar, and the government man said to me, hey, but I don't buy it. Like, I've heard so many stories. Like, I need some kind of tangible evidence, and if you give me the evidence.
So are you saying that you don't believe that it is off-world craft, or you don't believe there's anything?
Okay, so I'm a little, when it comes to whether or not there is life in other parts of the universe, I think that it's likely that it is. I think that it's also it's out of our reach. Okay. It's out of our reach in a way that other galaxies are out of our reach. Like, you're not, as of right now, all the science says you can't move faster than light, and if that's the case,
no, but you could take an Einstein-Rosen bridge, something that bends space-time.
Well, there are theoretical ways of doing it, like the warp speed with Star Trek, shrinking the space in front of you, expanding the space behind you, makes you go faster than, those kind of things. Those, I suppose, if they're possible, they're possible. Obviously, I don't know. But as of right now, with what we know, I don't think that there are aliens that have been to the Earth. I don't think that we have been visited by any kind of sentient life forms or anything like that. So,
see, I would agree with you that I don't think that there are aliens in the traditional sense at all. And I certainly
like where this is going.
Yeah, but I certainly would agree as well that, like, everything that we're saying here is not the truth.
Yeah, I mean,
it's sort of like, let's say that at a certain point, there, like, in any situation, whether it's a business or a family, when certain information you don't want to get out is getting out, you like spin that to control a narrative so that it's still,
that's what we were saying last night. Like, that's basically like there's like stuff about the Biden family, and they're like, look, aliens, it's over here.
No, about this.
Yeah. Okay.
So that you control this narrative.
They call it a limited hangout. So during Watergate, when they were talking about what they were going to go to the admit to, they said, Nixon was like, oh, so we're just going to let it all hang out, and their reply was, no, sir, we're looking at something more of a limited hangout. You give out a certain amount of. That's where let it all hang out came from.
But you also let out untrue things, so that it becomes
you put out little bits of truth and also things that are not true in your bits of truth, so that way you are actually throwing the people off of your trail. And also, well, look, we've admitted to the things that we've done, so that way they stop looking for more things, or is the intended.
And then the genius move on that is start denying the things that you put out there, because the things that are not true. You're like, I didn't do this, and everybody wants to go down that, and they stay away from the rabbit hole that you did do.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with the Fermi Paradox and Drake's equation?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We worked at Timcast, so.
That's the one. I assumed. I felt I should ask just in case. But that's the one that really that has me interested, and I like the
Explain
theory.
it.
Okay, so the Fermi paradox is based on Drake's equation. Drake's equation is a series of variables that lead you to basically the answer: there has to be alien life somewhere in the universe. If there's this many planets and this many worlds, it's statistically improbable that we're alone. The Fermi Paradox is from Enrico Fermi, who was sitting talking to a couple of other scientists about this, and he goes, well, where the F is everybody then? And that's the question answer. And I like the possibility that other civilizations out there have existed and then burnt themselves out. Or, I mean, look at us. We're on the brink of nuclear war 6 times a year. So maybe they did that. I also have my take on aliens is more that what we're dealing with isn't necessarily extraterrestrial, but extra dimensional, and that we're looking at stuff that is
Stargate.
To an extent, it's
sort of, yeah.
quite sort of similar.
Sliders.
But the idea that what we're dealing with, the reason that we can't find space aliens, is because we're looking for them in a linear field, a 3-dimensional space, and what we might need to do is look at. Maybe they're in a 4th dimension.
Yeah,
and
the 4th dimension is time.
Yeah.
There's already so they wouldn't be.
So it'd be the
Or
5th
5th dimension. Yeah, but that's the idea. Is like maybe they're existing in a state of reality that, in the same way that a 2-dimensional character couldn't imagine us, that we can't fathom that.
Favorite alien movie? Any movie or TV shows involving aliens, guys?
Aliens.
I think Signs.
Yeah,
The Vast of Night.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Amazon original. It's really good.
Really? Okay, recent.
Yeah.
Wait,
2019.
I don't know if it was you. It was either you or Kellen might have
I
suggested
told
that
you
one.
that. Yeah, yeah.
You might have.
It was
been
made by one of the camera people for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay.
Funded by Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook.
Aliens. Bug hunt. Let's go. Get them.
Yeah.
There
Kill
you
them
go.
all.
Original. They're like original.
Aliens.
Yeah. Not Alien.
Not Alien. Alien's great. Alien's awesome.
But Aliens.
I like Aliens because they went to go take care of the problem.
Perfect.
Oh my God, Sigourney Weaver was badass in that movie.
Was.
Favorite movie?
Signs.
Signs?
M. Night. I mean, I'm from Philly. M. Night Shyamalan is a local hero, but also Mel Gibson did such a good job. Joaquin Phoenix is in it. Such a good alien movie, and without leaning into the War of the Worlds trope, where it's not a movie about the aliens are invading and they're going to destroy Los Angeles. Yeah. It's the aliens are invading and they're doing weird things to my farm.
Yeah. I talked about the X-Files last night, how there's like a lot of what we were talking about last night was talking about how you can shift world events by these things coming out. So there's an episode called Musings of a Cigarette Smoking Man, where basically like every time something bad would happen, he basically controls the world because he's in charge of like the one world government in a way. And I think of aliens in that show, especially in the early seasons before they ruined the mythology in that, and it got overly convoluted. But in those early seasons, when it was all unknown and you were dealing with a lot of questions and a lot less of asking a ton of questions and getting mediocre answers, that you talk about a cultural like a time in history. The 90s, when the X-Files was popular, is a unique time in history. We talked recently about when was the last time you saw something that actually brought people to a television as a family to go watch something. The X-Files was averaging 10, 20 million, an episode, 10, 20 million people viewing each episode. And that was a Sunday night show. So it was a special time. Also, my birthday is in the beginning of July, so I watch Independence Day. Will Smith had 3 movies come out on my birthday, 3 years in a row. It's Independence Day, Wild Wild West, and something else came out.
I watched Wild Wild West because I love Will Smith.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I loved it.
It's amazing that movie got made. It's incredible.
It is.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.